You know?
Okay.
Greetings, fellow yogis, and welcome to your 60-minute Vinyasa. I'm Spencer and Amelia. We're going to do a little foot and ankle work today in our practice. We'll do other stuff too, but we're going to concentrate on foot and ankle because I have a couple people in my life that are suffering from foot and ankle problems, so we thought we would bring a little bit of that to this practice. So let's begin in child's pose. So your knees can be out wide. You're bringing your hips to your heels. You can have your feet flat, or if you'd like, you might be able to roll your toes under ever so slightly. Or maybe do both in your child's pose today. Begin to flex the ankle and the foot. And just come to your mindful meditative breath. Just beginning to come to your yoga mind, your yoga head. Letting go of thoughts. Letting thoughts pass through. Paying attention to your internal dialogue. Acknowledging that dialogue exists and takes place. Accepting that it exists and takes place. And then letting go. You're moving from the process of doing to non-doing here. Allowing the body to sink, to melt. On your inhale, maybe your fingertips go a little bit forward. On the exhale, maybe your hips come down a little bit more onto your heels. Smooth, easy breath here. Just waking up the lungs. This is the first time you've done any type of pranayama breathing today. Your lungs have to wake up also. Take one or two more mindful meditative breaths. And now begin to deepen your breath and move into your Ujjayi breath. The difference here is that now the breath is coarse and rough. And the sound is audible as you feel the vibration of the air passing over the back of the throat, building heat, building fire. Coming into the center, coming back to this breath during your practice when you need that additional fire in the belly. This is where you come, your Ujjayi breath. Take 3 final Ujjayi breaths, and as always, I encourage you to lengthen the exhale. Control the exhale. The inhale takes care of itself. The exhale is where you are building that breathing capacity, that pulmonary capacity. The lung tissue expanding. The rib cage opening, expanding as well. It's all connected. Diaphragm connected as well, dropping down in the belly on your inhale and up in the belly on your exhale. Final Ujjayi breath here. Building fire, building heat. And now we'll deepen that breath one more time as we move into our cleansing breath. This time, inhale deeply. Get to the top of that breath and sip one last time, and then pause for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the mouth opens wide. You're steaming a small compact mirror right in front of your mouth. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Slowly, consciously, we'll take 3 final deep inhalations. Remembering to come back to this breath during your practice when you need that inflow of oxygen and that outflow of carbon dioxide. After your final exhalation, you'll take both hands and begin to walk both hands to the right. Maybe placing the left palm on top of the back of the right hand. Feeling the left side body opening, lengthening that left arm out long here. Really feeling that left shoulder opening, that left side body opening. At the same time, you're trying to sit your heels back onto trying to sit your hips back onto your heels. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Inhale, begin to slowly walk the fingers back to the center, and then on your exhale, begin to walk your arms towards your left side, palm of the right hand onto the back of the left hand, extending that right arm out long, really lengthening, actively lengthening that right arm. When you do that, you're going to feel that right shoulder joint opening. You're also going to feel the right side body opening as you press back the hips into the heels. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slowly walks the fingertips back towards the front of the mat. And then lift your hips up tall and move yourself into puppy pose.
So are your arms straight?
So your arms are straight out here. You can keep your feet flat, or preferably, in a practice we're going to be doing today, maybe roll the toes under. Now you notice that Amelia's hips are lined up directly over her knees. That's the difference here between this and child's pose. Child's pose, hips are on heels. Puppy pose, hips are up tall. You are lowering your chest as much as you can towards the floor. This is really a shoulder opener. So the lower you melt your chest towards the floor, the more your shoulders will open. Now, you can start with your forehead on the floor. If you're comfortable there, you can actually maybe take the tip of your nose to the floor. And if you're comfortable there, maybe you take your chin to the floor. Lots of layers there. The further you melt into the floor, the more your shoulders will open. We'll hold here for 3 final breaths. You all right there?
Yeah, it's a shoulder opener, all right.
It's a shoulder opener, all right. I have a shoulder issue going on right now, so this would be very difficult for me, at least on the right side. Final breath. Inhale. And then walk the hands back to tabletop. And we'll take a couple cow-cats here. So tabletop, you've been doing yoga for a long time, probably by now, at least 1 or 2 classes. So you know where tabletop is, and we'll go into cow-cat. So on our inhale, we'll drop the belly and gaze up towards the ceiling. Full spinal extension here for our cow posture. And then we'll take an exhale, bring the chin to the chest, press down into the palms, and touch the ceiling with your thoracic spine. You're doming your spine here. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And now take 2 or 3 on your own. And I invite you, maybe rotate your head, maybe rotate your hips, maybe change the feet wherever they are. If you have the toes rolled under, maybe flatten them. If they're flattened, maybe roll them under. Just listen to your own body intuition. And then after 2 or 3, you'll come back to tabletop and we will hold here. Now, puppy pose began to open the shoulders with shoulder extension. Now we're going to take the shoulders into internal rotation. So we're going to move into thread the needle. We're going to lift that right arm up tall, touch the ceiling with those right fingertips, and then on your exhale, sweep the right arm under through the opening, bringing the shoulder to the mat, and if you can get your right ear and right cheek to the mat, go there. If you can't get your right cheek and right ear to the mat, maybe put a blanket or pillow, or if you have a block available. Left arm can be kind of hugged in, or you can extend the left arm up tall, touching the wall in front of you with your fingertips. Your hips are still stacked nicely over the knees. You can have your toes rolled under or flat here. And then if you're comfortable and you want to take this into a half bind, you can bend that left elbow, bring that left arm behind the back, and touch your right hip with your fingertips of the left hand. And we'll hold here for a couple of breaths, rotating that right shoulder internally across the body, rotating that left shoulder internally around the back. Find your breath. Two final breaths here. Now bring that left palm in front of the nose. Press yourself up using that left arm. Sweep the right arm up tall, touch the ceiling, and bring that right arm back. You're in tabletop. Inhale, left arm sweeps up tall. Touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Exhale, left arm comes through the opening. Left shoulder to the mat, left ear, left cheek to the mat. Same thing on this side if you need a block, a blanket, or a pillow. Right arm can be just kind of hanging out if that's comfortable for you, or you can extend your fingertips towards the wall in front of you. Or if you're comfortable, you can take your bind here by bending that right elbow, bringing the right hand behind the back, trying to touch the left hip with the right fingertips, and you'll settle in here. Now Amelia has her toes rolled under here. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff today working with the plantar fascia. So right now what she's doing by having the toes rolled under, in essence having the feet flex, the toes flex back towards the nose, we're stretching, lengthening that fascia on the bottom of the foot, that plantar fascia, and we're going to try to take some pressure off of that. Final breath here. Now, place the right hand in front of the nose, press yourself up using your right arm, sweep the left arm up tall, and back to tabletop. Now, flatten the feet and begin to sit back onto your heels as we move into a modified hero's pose. You want to bring the knees together, you want to bring the shins as close together as possible, and you want to try to have the ankles touching here. So this takes the foot and ankle into full plantar flexion. So as I always say, here's the foot, plantar flexion is down, dorsiflexion is up. This is in full plantar flexion. I'll sit from this view, putting the foot and ankle through full flexion here. Excuse me?
Your ankles touch?
My ankles are touching, yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Impressive.
Okay. So if you can't get your ankles to completely touch against one another, that's okay. But that's where you're going. You're trying to get them as close as possible. We'll hold here for another couple of breaths. You can bring your hands to Namaskar should you choose, or maybe ground onto the earth with your index finger and with your peace sign fingers, as Amelia's doing. Inhale. Hold here for another couple of breaths. Really stretching the front of the foot, the top of the foot. And now lean forward ever so slightly, roll the toes under, and now begin to sit back onto the heels with the toes rolled under. For many of you, this may not be as comfortable. Again, ankles together, shins together, knees together. If you can only hold out here for a breath or two, then hold out here for a breath or two. We're going to be holding out here for about 10 breaths. And if you need to come out of this, come out of this. But you are really, this is full dorsiflexion of the foot and ankle. So you are getting an incredible stretch. If you reach behind and you touch the bottom of your foot, you should feel a really, really tight sheath on the bottom of your foot, on the sole of your foot. That is the plantar fascia. Plantar because it's the bottom of the foot, and fascia because it's a piece of fascial tissue, thin tissue, connective tissue. We'll take about 4 more breaths here. Back is flat. If you're comfortable and you want to come to Namaskar, feel free to do so. I find myself meditating like this sometimes now. But when I first started sitting like this, I couldn't go more than 2 or 3 breaths.
It was like me.
Now I can go for a while. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Begin to lean forward, put the hands onto the floor, roll the toes under, and then lift the hips up and make your way into down dog. My mouth is not working very well today. So this is our first down dog. Now, interestingly enough, the posture that we just came from, which was a kind of a modified hero's pose with the toes rolled under, that's sort of what you're in down dog here. It's not that different. So press the heels into the floor, rock back and forth. Inhale. Exhale. Now, on your next inhale, roll yourself forward and find yourself into a high plank. And we're going to hold here. Now, slowly roll forward. There you go. So now your heels are coming forward and you're on the tippy toes. And now begin to press back so that the heels are touching the back wall and get that stretch. We're going to do that a few times. Roll forward on the toes. Bring the heels towards the head. And now press back, bring the heels towards the wall behind you. 2 more times on your own. Really feel that stretch in the foot, ankle, and fascia. Hold here. Press back to down dog. Bend the knees. Take a peek towards the front of the mat and either step or hop to the top of the mat and find yourself in a forward fold. So if you have a block or if you have a book available, see if you can grab it. And we're going to put the block right in the front here in our forward fold. I'll give everybody a second to get a block if they don't have one. You might not need a block, but it can help here. So we are going to place our hands either on the floor or onto your block. Feet are together. And then just begin to lean forward on the tippy toes, lifting the heels, holding here. If you're comfortable and you want to bring your hands to your heart center, feel free to do so. If your hands are at heart center, hands back to the floor, come back to a flat foot, and now begin to lift the toes and rock back onto the heels. Now in this posture, you should feel a real pull in the calf muscle. If you want to bring your hands to heart center, feel free to do so. You're balancing on your heels now. Let's go back the other way. So the hands come back to the floor or to a block. We're going to begin to roll onto our toes, lifting our heels as high as we can. If you want to bring your hands to heart center, Namaskar, feel free to do so. And then drop back onto the heels. You can bring your hands back to the floor to start. Drop back onto your heels. Balance on your heels as you lift your toes. And again, into Namaskar should you choose. Knees should be straight here if possible. We'll do that one more time in each direction. Hands to the floor if they're not there. Begin to lean forward, lifting the heels. And then into Namaskar should you choose. balancing on the tippy toes. And then heels come down, toes come up. Final time here. And release. Feet come flat. Both hands onto the floor. We're going to take that left hand onto the floor and begin to sweep the right arm up tall. Look at the right hand. And then bend that left knee ever so slightly.
Just the left one?
Bend the left knee and come up onto the tippy toes of the left foot. There you go. Now the left heel comes down, the right hand comes down. Left arm sweeps up tall, gaze at that left arm. And now bend the right knee and come up onto the tippy toes of the right knee. You're pressing down into the tip toes here. So you're doing full dorsiflexion. Should feel this on the bottom of the foot. We'll do one more on each side. Right heel comes down, left palm comes down. Inhale, right arm sweeps up tall. When it gets there, now bend the left knee, come up on the toes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last time, right palm comes down. Inhale, left arm sweeps up tall. Bend the right knee ever so slightly, come up on the toes. Take your breath, find your Ujjayi breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down, right heel comes down. Inhale, the arms sweep up tall. Hands come to heart center. Namaskar, Tadasana, mountain pose. Cleansing breath. So we just did a good 15 minutes or so working on the plantar fascia. So if you do have plantar fasciitis, these are all great postures to engage in. If you don't have plantar fasciitis, congratulations, you never want to get it. Okay? But this will also help to reduce the likelihood. Now we're going to move into our sun salutations. So we'll take one sun A and one sun B. We will be adding lunges in the middle, as I always do. One breath, one motion. Follow along with me. If you get lost, if you get behind, we all meet in down dog eventually anyway. Don't worry about it. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart, nice straight line. Exhale, left foot back. We're in down dog. We're going to take our first vinyasa flow here. You can come down onto your knees during chaturanga should you choose. Inhale takes you forward in the high push-up. Notice how your feet are right now. Exhale, lower down, low push-up, chaturanga, elbows in tight. Flatten the feet, press up with the hands at the upward facing dog or a cobra. And now try to roll over the toes. Good. Back into down dog. So when I say roll over the toes, a lot of times when we go from up dog to down dog, we kind of flip our toes and then make our way into down dog. See if you can roll over the toes. It might feel like the front of your toes are breaking because there might be a lot of adhesive tissue in there, but ultimately you'll literally be able to just roll over the toes. So try it once. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you'll try, at least you tried it. Inhale, the right leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it forward, top of the mat. Make sure the right ankle is under the right knee. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's sweep the arms up tall. We'll bring our palms together. Release the index fingers and cross the thumbs. We're going to set up for our first back bend, so be gentle to yourself since it's the first. Press down into the feet to ground. Lift up tall to rise. Press your hips forward. Drop your head back and trace a line on the ceiling towards the back wall. Trying to touch the ceiling with your chest. Lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Inhale, forward in the high plank. You can drop your knees should you choose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we sweep our arms up tall and get set up for back bend number 2. Palms together, not just the main portion of the palms, but the heel of the palms as well. Thumbs are crossed, touch the ceiling, press down, lift up, press forward, head back. Can you see the wall behind you? Trace a line on the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a deep breath. Sun B will add chair pose. Utkatasana. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back. Step forward. Inhale, forward fold. Sweep the fingertips onto the floor and find your way into chair pose. My bad. Utkatasana. Amelia's a wonderful, wonderful student. She did exactly what I said, even though I forgot Utkatasana. So she's now in chair pose. So sit back, sit down. You want to feel like you're falling backwards here. Bring the knees back, gaze is up. Exhale, fold. Now step that right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. For many of you that have taken my classes, this is where we go into a 3-leg vinyasa, should you choose. If you want to do that, the right leg would lift up tall now. Inhale brings you forward in the high push-up. Exhale lowers you down, chaturanga. Inhale, feet flatten, upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we sweep the arms up tall and find our way into our 3rd and final back bend in this sequence. You've been here a couple of times now. You know where your body is at today. Begin to go for it. Press down, lift up, press forward, drop back. This is where I give the assist. Take it back, way back, way back. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold, and the left foot steps back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts that heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. 3-legged vinyasa yogis, left leg lifts. Everybody else, inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, chaturanga, slower than you would like. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We sweep our fingertips onto the floor and find our way back into chair pose, Utkatasana. All right, if you thought we were finished playing with the bottom of the feet, we are not. So let's come up onto our tippy toes here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, heels come down. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, we'll take the right elbow over the left knee to take a twisting chair. So let's talk about how we're stacking up. Amelia has her left elbow facing the ceiling if possible, right elbow facing the floor. She's getting her hands, you can't see it, but she's getting her hands as close to heart center as possible, and both knees are together. So take a look at your knees. Has one migrated forward? If you're comfortable here and you would like to open up, feel free to open up, pressing that right elbow into the left knee across the body and gazing at that left hand as it goes towards the ceiling. Inhale. If you have any variations here, if you want to play with flamingo, or if you want to go into side crow, feel free to do so. Amelia will take side crow. I'll move into flamingo. So in flamingo, we're from twisting chair, and then I'm going to lift this right leg, bending at the knee, maybe bringing that right heel towards my glute, maintaining my chair pose. Wherever you are, begin to make your way back to chair pose with hands at heart center. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring those heels up again and move on to our tippy toes. Inhale. Exhale. Heels come down. Inhale. Elbows lift. Exhale. Left elbow over the right knee. Find your Ujjayi breath here. Feel that left shoulder as it's rolling under, and the right shoulder and right rib cage are coming behind you. You're really torquing the abdominal oblique muscles here. Right elbow towards the ceiling, left elbow towards the floor. Any variation that you have here, again, if you want to open your arms, feel free to go there. If you want to go into flamingo on this side or side crow, I'll just let Amelia do side crow here. Nice arm balance. Wherever you are, come back to chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Utkatasana. We'll lift the heels one final time. But this time, if you want a variation, you can begin to make your way down in the toe stand, keeping the back nice and flat, lowering slower than you would like. And then if you're comfortable here, maybe open the knees up, bringing the heels together. Dorsiflexion of the foot and ankle. Inhale. Palms come to the floor. Let's stand up tall. Toe heel the feet together. Arms sweep up tall. Hands come to heart center. Cleansing breath. Good time for a little drink of water. From my Flying Monkey. This is a glass from the Flying Monkey on Duval Street in Key West. I've had it for years. Can't even tell where it's from anymore. But if you've ever been to Duval Street in Key West, have you ever been there?
I have been
If
there.
you've ever been to Duval Street in Key West, that's kind of the main drag in Key West that goes from the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf. It's really beautiful. And if you've never been to Key West, try to get there one day. All right, we are going to take our right leg and sweep it to the back of our mat so that you are facing. So we are on a wide leg here. So we'll go into a wide leg series. And where to keep the feet. So in a perfect world, if you can roll your toes inward so that your feet are in supination, that's called.
Supination.
If that's uncomfortable for you and your feet need to be parallel, or ever so slightly open, that's okay also. But in a perfect world, we're going to keep our feet with our toes pointing inward. So you're kind of pigeon-toed here. Let's bring the hands to the hips. We're going to inhale and grow tall. Press the shoulder blades together. And then on the exhale, you're going to bend forward, keeping your back flat. So lead with your chin and come to about 90 degrees and hold. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring the arms out to a T. Hold here. You're pressing into the outer edges of the foot, maybe lifting the arch of the foot. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring the palms to the floor. Now you can leave your palms on the floor, should you choose, or if you'd like to go for a yogi toe lock with your peace sign fingers on your big toe. Or if you have it in your practice to come to the outside of the feet, you can play with your hand position here. You can walk your hands through your legs behind you, maybe turning your wrists around. Just feel that stretch in the adductor muscles. Now, you are also stretching the outer portion of the lower leg here. It's called the peroneus longus. It's a very important muscle in that it crosses under the foot and under the sole of the foot as well, and connects on the inner portion of the foot. Now, if you have a headstand in your practice and you'd like to play with a headstand here, this would be a time to go there. You are not required. You'll stay in this posture for a few more breaths. I'll give Amelia a spot here, although she typically doesn't need one. But I'm always here. Good. Flying yogis, begin to make your way back down, however you choose. Very nice. She's been working on this, and her headstand has become pretty good. Find your way back into wide-legged forward fold. Now, place the left hand, your left palm on the floor, right under your nose, and sweep the right arm up tall to take a twist. Inhale. Exhale, right palm comes down. Inhale, left palm comes up. We'll do this 3 more times on each side. Inhale. Exhale, left palm down. Inhale, right palm up. Exhale, right palm down. Inhale, left palm up. 2 more times on each side. Left palm down. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, right palm down. Inhale, left palm up. Final time on each side. Left palm down. Right palm up. And the right palm comes down. Let's bring our hands to our hips. And with flat back, make your way up tall and hold here. Breathe. Reset. We're staying here. Now this time, take both hands to your back and make a fist, crossing at the thumbs, and then pressing your fist down towards the floor. So we'll take a shoulder rinse here. Inhale, grows tall. Press the shoulder blades together. You are opening up the chest here and pressing the shoulder blades together. Now again, exhale, leading with your chin, begin to make your way into a 90-degree angle. Pressing the shoulders together. We have a tendency to let those shoulders roll forward. Really be conscious here about bringing those shoulders behind you. And then if you're comfortable and want to begin to raise the arms off of the back, feel free to do so. And then begin to bend your way down. Now thinking about having a pencil between your shoulder blades, you're pinching that pencil there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale breaks the posture, hands come to the hips. And make your way up tall. Now we're going to stay in wide-legged and we're going to move into skater's pose or Skandasana. So I'm going to have Amelia demonstrate skater's pose first, and then if you have Skandasana in your practice, feel free to go in there.
Foot goes out.
Yeah, so we're going to start by bending that right knee. So she's going to bend into the right knee, at the same time pressing the left foot away from her. The back is flat, hands are at heart center, and that's a beautiful skater's pose right there. Hold here. You're really feeling a stretch in the inner thigh on the left side. The outer edge of the left foot is digging into your mat. You're pressing away, and one day that right thigh is parallel to the mat with the right knee directly over the ankle and the shoulders over the hips. Now, if you're comfortable here and you have Skandasana, you know where to go. You're going to bend that right knee, dig the left heel into the mat, and then begin to point the left toes towards the ceiling. If you don't have Skandasana, that's fine. You will get there or not. If you're in Skandasana and you have a bind in your Skandasana, you know where to go. Can you lift the left leg up?
Wow.
No,
really?
you can't. I'm just kidding. So I'm just messing here. I told her to do something that is probably impossible for 99.999999% of the human population. I'm sure there's some people that can get that left foot up. Anyway, wherever you are, skater, Skandasana, begin to make your way back up into wide-legged forward fold. Hands come to heart center. Take a deep cleansing breath and settle in. So we're going to move to the opposite side now. So we're going to bend into the left knee so that left toes are now facing the wall to your left side. You're pressing into the outer edge of the right foot now. Hands heart center, left knee over left ankle, Shoulders directly over the hips. That is really nice, Amelia. And breathe. Find strength in this posture. This is a really, really powerful posture. And then if you're comfortable in skater's pose and you would like to take this into Skandasana, try not to bend forward with your upper body. That right heel is now digging into the mat, right toes pointing towards the ceiling. If you have a bind on this side, like I can bind on one side but not the other right now because of my shoulder. So I'm just not doing it right now. Yes, it's my ego, but so be it. Inhale. Exhale. Wherever you are, begin to make your way back into wide-legged forward fold. Move the feet in ever so slightly. And now we're going to move in the goddess pose. So now turn the feet out as wide as you can. Okay? How far your feet can turn outward depends on your hip and in some degree the knee, but mostly hip rotation. So if you can't get your foot out very wide, it's not your foot's problem. It's your hip's problem. And as you practice and practice and practice and increase that range of motion in that hip socket, you'll be able to open the hips up a little bit more. So in goddess pose, both feet are facing out as much as possible. Inhale. Exhale, begin to bend the knees. Hands come to heart center to start. Hold here. You're going to sink as low as you can. And then if you'd like, you can bring your arms into cactus arms, where your upper arm is parallel to the mat and your elbow is bent at 90 degrees. Palms are facing forward. Hold here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lifts the right heel off of the mat, press into the right toes. Exhale, right heel comes down. Inhale, left heel comes up. Press down into the left toes. Exhale, left heel comes down. Inhale, both heels lift up tall. You're on your tippy toes here. This is a balanced posture as well. Exhale, heels come down. Legs straighten up tall, arms extend up tall, 5-pointed star. Inhale, exhale, back to goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, back to goddess. One final time, inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, back to goddess. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Step the right foot to meet the left foot at the top of your mat. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. Cleansing breath. Good job. Let's come to the top of the mat. We'll do a couple balancing. You're going to face the
Just pull that back a little. Thanks.
face the camera. We're going to go in the tree pose. If you have half lotus pose, so I'm going to have Amelia go in the half lotus pose because I want to demonstrate that because it gives a little bit more range of motion of the hip, knee, and the foot. So we're going to go here, and if you can get in the half lotus, great. If you can't, you're going to go into tree pose. Okay. So in half lotus, we're going to do. Let's lift that right knee up as high as we can. Begin to bend that knee. You're grabbing the right foot, the top of the right foot with the left palm, bringing that right heel as high up your body as you can, into the crease of your hip as possible, and then begin to drop that right knee down. So you're holding on for dear life with that left foot, and one day, if I looked at you from the side, both knees would be in a line.
Thank you. That's fun.
So you're pressing that right knee down towards the floor and behind you. That's really opening that right hip. If you're comfortable here, you can bring one hand. Let's bring that right hand to the heart. Half lotus pose. Standing half lotus. Really a hip opener. Now at the same time, that left leg is solid and strong. Inhale. Exhale. Find your drishti point about 3 or 4 feet in front of you. Inhale. Exhale and release the same way you came out. We'll go to the opposite side. Our balanced foot this time will be the right foot. Let's bring that left knee up as high as we can. begin to bend that left knee, grabbing the top of that left foot with the right hand. And then bring that right heel as high up on the body as you can. And when you get it there, hold it there and begin to drop that left knee down. So the left knee is pointing directly at the floor. Now, if your left knee is out here and pointing towards, in my house, the front door, that's okay. That has to do with your hip opening. The more you do this, the more that hip will open. And one day, both knees are in a straight line. If you'd like to bring that left hand up to the heart, feel free to do so. Standing half lotus, right leg solid and strong. Bones, muscles of the foot re-articulating, readjusting for 3, for 2, for 1, and release down. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. We're going to move into balance beam next. So, left foot comes forward ever so slightly. You're going to take the big toe and the second toe of your right foot, and you're going to place it right behind your left foot, almost cupping the heel of your left foot with the big toe and the second toe of your right foot. So you're on a balance beam. Both feet are in the same plane. We're going to bring our hands to our hips to start. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, extend the left arm forward, the right arm behind you, and begin to take a twist. If you fall out, come back in. If you fall out, come back in. Inhale. So this is a twisting balance posture. If you're comfortable here, try to take that a little bit further past 180 degrees and back to center. Right foot comes up to meet the left. And now we'll step that right foot forward ever so slightly. Cup the heel of that foot with the big toe and the second toe. Hands come to heart center to start. Both hips are facing forward, shoulders facing forward. Inhale, grow. Exhale, right arm comes out in front, left arm behind. We'll take our twist here. If you're comfortable here and want to go past that 180 degrees, you can go past that 180 degrees, maybe gazing over that left shoulder, gazing behind you. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. And back to center. Find your way onto your seats.
This way?
Yep. Boat pose Navasana. Legs come up, knees bent, shins parallel, calves parallel to the mat. Heart is open, shoulder blades retracted. Grabbing onto the back of the hamstrings, hold here. Let's bring our arms out tall. And then on a count of 5, we're going to make our way to our backs. You can straighten your legs if you want, but do not have to. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the legs, soles of the feet onto the mat. Hold here to start. Now, straighten and lift that left leg to start. Or right leg.
Left leg.
No, it's okay. One of the legs. Okay? Hold here. Now begin to bring your toes. There you go. Flex the toes, flex the foot. And now maybe just rotate the ankle ever so slightly here. Right and left, up and down. Good. And release. Whatever leg you lifted before, lift the other one. Hold here. Flex the toes towards the nose. Again, engaging the bottom of that foot, that plantar fascia. And then if you'd like, you can rotate the ankle. Do some ankle twists here, twists and turns. And release down. Holding here. We'll move into a bridge pose. So, Try to touch the back of your heels with your fingertips. Your knees are hip width apart, anatomical hip width, and your feet are hip width apart. If you have a block or a pillow or a blanket, maybe place it between your knees here, and during bridge pose, we'll have you press inwardly, engaging the inner thigh muscles. If you don't have one, that's okay also. Palms down at the side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, presses down into the feet, presses into the shoulders, lift your hips up, touch the ceiling with your hips. Knees come together. There you go. Her knees were starting to flare open. That's why if you have a block, try to press in on those blocks. If you have enough room under your back here and you want to make a fist, feel free to do so. Pressing down now into the shoulders and triceps. If you're comfortable here and you want to lift that right leg, feel free to lift that right leg. And release. If you're comfortable here and you want to lift that left leg, feel free to lift the left leg. And release. Inhale. Exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Begin to release your way down. Legs out long. And relax in. As we begin to wind down our practice, we'll move into our final hip opener. We'll move into happy baby. So legs come up, bend at the knees, knees flared out wide. You're grabbing either the ankles on the outside, or if you can get to the outside edge of the foot, feel free to go there. Elbows come to the inside of the knees, pressing out on the knees with the elbows. And maybe rocking side to side ever so slightly here. And then coming to stillness. Holding here. Maybe if you're comfortable, thinking about pulling the soles of the feet closer towards the floor, bringing the knees closer towards the floor, opening those hips ever so slightly. And release. Legs come down. Legs out long. Hold here. We'll take a wind removing pose. So the right knee bends. We're going to clasp our fingers just below the kneecap on that right side. Inhale. Exhale, begin to bring that knee ever so slightly out to the side and then back towards the shoulder. You're bringing it out to the side so you're avoiding the rib cage. Take a quick look. Shoulder, knee, ankle should be in one straight line. Sometimes that foot and ankle have a tendency to move towards the center of the body. Try to roll it out. Inhale. Exhale, knee to shoulder, engaging the ascending colon and the abdominal cavity here, and release. Other side, inhale brings that left knee up, clasping your fingers 2 inches below, and pull into that shoulder. And release. Inhale brings both legs up together. Hold here. Bringing the knees to the chest, engaging the transverse colon. Pressing down into the hips. You want a nice flat spine here. Pressing down into the back of the neck. And now for your final few seconds, if you'd like to bring your forehead towards your knees, taking yourself into as small a ball as you possibly can. Hold here for 3, for 2, for 1, and begin to release. If there is anything that you choose to do to seal your own personal practice, feel free to go there now. But if not, and you are just ready for Shavasana, Begin to extend the legs out long. Maybe bringing the heels together as the toes fall out. Maybe the palms are facing up. Or maybe you have your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart, and settle into your final posture of the practice today, final Shavasana. Rest, recuperation, regeneration, very important part of our practice. Relax your toes and feet. We did a lot of work today. Relax your shins, relax your calves. Relax your thighs, relax your hamstrings. Relax your hips, relax your belly. Relax your chest. Relax your fingers, relax your hands, relax your wrists. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Relax your face, relax your forehead. Relax your crown. Relax your mind. Begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. If you'd like to wiggle your toes or fingers, shake your head yes and no. Coming back. Now, if you'd like to extend your arms above your head, maybe clasping your hands together and taking one final stretch for our practice today. And then rolling onto your right side into fetal position. And then making your way to seated posture. Half lotus or full lotus. Hands to heart center. Now, typically at the end of my class, I always read something, and usually it's 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. But I came across something that I've read many times personally, but thought that this might be a good opportunity to read it. It's about 3 minutes long. So if you want to cut out now, that's fine. You don't have to listen. You can come back at another time. But you have extra 3 minutes and you're interested in hearing something that I feel is very pertinent to today's world, I'm going to read it anyway. It's called Note the Antidote. I approach fear the same way I approach almost everything else in life, with an antidote. Here's what I mean. Anger and gratitude, for example, cannot coexist in the same thought. It is cognitively impossible. The moment you are angry with your spouse, for example, is the moment you stop being grateful for having them in your life in the first place. Yet the moment you go back to gratitude, the anger goes away. It's like magic. Gratitude is the antidote to anger. And here's the trick. Instead of focusing all of your energy on letting go of the anger, focus on increasing your gratitude, and the anger will naturally subside. Fear also has an antidote, and I hope you can follow my train of thought here. I spent years envious of people who had faith because I was too logical to understand it, which was frustrating because I'd heard it said that if you feed your faith, then all your fears will starve to death. And I know now that it's powerfully true. Faith is trusting the process. And if you're from Philadelphia and a Sixers fan, you know what trust the process is. You see, something is making your heart beat right now. Your lungs function, the grass grow, and the planet spin. So whether we admit it or not, what we have is faith. We have faith that our heart will keep beating and that we'll wake up tomorrow morning. We don't know this, but we trust it. So we trust the process and we honor it by not overlooking the tremendous faith that you have. It's okay. It doesn't mean your faith has to be wrapped up in religion. Mine certainly is not. Why is acknowledging our faith so important? Because faith is the antidote to fear. We now know that energy flows where attention goes. So if you feed your fears, they get bigger. But if you feed your faith, your fears have nothing to eat and they eventually die. The problem is that fear has been drilled into us from a very young age, with its level of severity greatly varying depending on our upbringing, our culture, our family, etc. So in your own personal battle against fear, I say change direction. Don't focus on letting go of the fear. Focus on increasing your faith, on trusting the process, and the fear will disappear on its own. It's like Kundalini Yoga, if you've ever done it. It involves a lot of very rapid breathing and can get frustrating if you're trying to breathe in and out really fast. As one of my yoga instructors says, however, just focus on the exhale. The inhale will happen automatically, and I say that all the time. Trust the process, my friends. Let it happen because it's going to happen anyway. When you trust the process, you trust that it's okay for people to be different from one another. That as much as we don't like it, there's a reason for what's happening in the world. And the opposite of what we know is also true. Trust the process. There is balance and harmony in the world, the North and South poles, and we need it so that we don't spin out of control, right? So just focus on feeding your faith and the fears will naturally go away. Try the breathing stuff. I'm serious. Close your mouth and breathe in and out through the nose really fast. It can get really tricky unless you just focus on the exhale and trust that the inhale will happen effortlessly. That's from Buddhist Boot Camp, Timber Hawkeye. If you're still with us and would like to join Amelia and I in a final Om, please feel free to do so. We'll take one deep inhalation, one exhalation, a second inhalation, and then exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we bring our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bend towards one another, slight bow towards one another. The light in us honors the light in each of you. We thank you as always for joining us in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. If you hung out through the end, I appreciate it. If not, maybe you'll catch us another time. Peace. Have a great day. See you next time.